it's Gabby and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be my July TBR. So this is definitely coming to you guys a little bit late. I posted on Twitter and Instagram that I hadn't posted this past week because I got a new puppy. She's 9 weeks old now. When I got her, she was 8 weeks old, so she needs a lot of attention, and I just haven't had time to film, edit, all that stuff. I almost didn't even film one, but I thought, you know, better late than never, and I do have some books that I want to try to get to this month. This reading slump has definitely been kicking my ass, but I'm still trying to fight through it. This TBR is gonna... That would be the puppy. Okay, sorry about that. She was literally running into the tripod, shaking everything. So yeah, this TBR is going to be a little smaller than my usual ones. I try to do around 10 to 15 books on a normal TBR because that's about how much I usually read in a month. These past couple months with the reading slump and everything, I've only been reading anywhere from like 6 to 8 books. I don't think I've got any better than that lately, but I thought to kind of fit where my reading's been, I would make this a little bit smaller than usual. I think I only have 6 or 7 books on this, most of which are going to be Kindle because I've noticed that I've been more attracted to ebooks lately, so I don't have all of them here. I think I only have 3 physical books to read this month, and the rest are all going to be on Kindle. I guess we'll just jump right into the books that I hope to read in July. As always, it's going to be the book that I plan to read with my mom and friend in our book club, and that is going to be Legendborn by Tracy Deonn. This follows 16-year-old Bree, whose mother recently passed away. She's trying to get away from her memories, her past. She doesn't want to be constantly reminded of her mother's passing because they were very close. She gets into a program at her local college that accepts bright young high school students, so she actually will live on campus and take these like extra courses and stuff. And when she sees a student being like attacked by a demon, these other students show up and they call themselves Merlins, they fight it, and then they try to erase her memory of the entire thing. That does not work. So they find out that she might be like them, she might be a Legendborn. She finds out that she does have some magic, and she also finds out that her mother's death was related to all of this. So she decides she's going to join this like secret society, learn more about it, hopefully uncover why her mother was attacked and ultimately killed. So I think this sounds super interesting. I've heard so many good things about this. The idea of like the secret society sounds really cool. It's something that's going to have a cool magic system, as well as be pretty mysterious with her trying to figure out all this stuff about what happened to her mother. So all around, this sounds like it's going to be really good. I'm definitely excited. This is our book club pick. It is pretty big, and with this reading slump, the bigger the book, the harder it's been for me, but I'm still thinking that I'll probably get this pretty quick just because of how interesting it does sound. Next up is Flock by Kate Stewart. I'm going to be honest, I don't know much about this book. The synopsis was a bit confusing. I think it's more of like an excerpt from the book. Basically, what I do know about this one is we've got this girl who, I guess, moves to this town, and she meets some guys. I think they're like a little bit shady, but intriguing to her, and some sort of romance is going to ensue that I think ends badly, because I believe she's telling us the story after everything has kind of went down. It's a little bit confusing. The writing of the synopsis definitely seemed like it's more of her telling a story about the situation. I don't know a lot about it, I really don't, but I see it everywhere. There's this Facebook group I'm a part of where it keeps being recommended over and over, and I'm seeing it on book Twitter and book talk, so I finally decided that I needed to pick it up. This month is going to be the month, since I am trying to read those smaller Kindle books as a way to try to get back into reading a little bit more. I've been saying that every month that I'm going to use these smaller books to get back into reading, but so far it's not exactly gone the way I planned. Again, fingers crossed that this month is better, but hopefully this book is good, especially because there's 3 books, so if I like the first one and I could read all 3, that would definitely be amazing, but we shall see. Next up is a book that was on my summer TBR, and I'll have that linked somewhere. That book is Dear Haiti, Love Elaine by Micah and Maritza Muli. This follows Elaine, who goes to Haiti because she gets into some trouble at school and she gets suspended. She's kind of sent there for an immersion program where she has to write an essay and all this stuff. Her mom goes with her after getting into her own sort of like drama. I believe she's a news anchor and something goes down. So they go together. They are bonding a little bit. I know they're not very close. I think it said that in the synopsis, but that they are trying to kind of figure out the dynamic, get to know each other a little better. She's getting to know more about her heritage, her culture, her family that's over in Haiti, and I think that there's a bit of a twist to go along with her family, but I'm not 100% sure. This book is told through emails and diary entries in like that essay form that she's supposed to be like writing about her time over there, so I think this will be a pretty quick, fun read. I also think it's going to have a lot of culture and the family bonds that I really enjoy seeing, and it gives me like that summer vibe. I think she's going to have like a summer romance with an intern, I believe it said. So overall, this just sounds really cute and like something that will definitely help me fight this reading slump. Next up is a graphic novel, and that is Monstrous Volume 2 by Marjorie Liu. This is the second installment in the Monstrous series. I don't know how many books there are, but this is the second one. I read the first one not too long ago and really enjoyed it. I picked it up on a whim. It just looked really pretty and like steampunky. So that's what intrigued me in the beginning, and it actually ended up being really good. The first book was definitely confusing. There's a lot of world building going on, but it's not explained super well. You really have to try to keep up. But I think this one will have a little bit more world building and stuff. It follows this woman who has a demon monster living inside of her. She has a little bit of access to his powers. They're kind of fighting for her body a little bit in the first one. In this one, I think they're going to be more like teamed up to fight these different factions of magic. They're all kind of after her because of the demon that's inside of her. It's kind of hard to explain. That's about the gist of it. There's tons of different magical creatures, magical factions, and what my favorite part about these are is the art is just so pretty. It definitely has that steampunk vibe, and all around just a really cute, funny, neat series. Next up is a book that my friend has been dying for me to read since she read it. It's by an author that I would bet money on you've heard of recently, and that is Birthday Girl by Penelope Douglas. Everywhere I turn, Penelope Douglas is somewhere. BookTube, BookTok, BookTwitter, she's everywhere. I've not read a single book by her yet, but I am ready to dive in and get in on this hype. So, Birthday Girl. This follows a young woman who goes to live with her boyfriend and his family. I think it's him and his dad. She goes to live with them and kind of ends up falling for the dad. That's really all I know about this one. I don't have a lot of more information. I haven't even read the synopsis myself, just because I wanted to go in a little bit blind and just go based off of what I've heard from other people. I either hear really great stuff about this one or just kind of meh stuff. So I'm going to be honest, it doesn't exactly sound like something I'm going to love. I have never read a big age gap romance, and it sounds, to be honest, a little bit weird to me, but I'm going to go in fully open-minded and give it my best shot. Probably going to enjoy it, especially with the way people talk about Penelope Douglas, so I'm really excited to pick this one up. But speaking of Penelope Douglas, the next book is Punk 57 by Penelope Douglas. This little nugget has the hiccups and it freaked her out, so she started barking. This is Freya. I don't know if I have a vlog up already of her, so you may or may not have already met her, but here she is with the hiccups. Yeah. So, Punk 57, another one that I hear about everywhere. I think this is the book that I hear about the most by her. So this follows Ryan and Micah. Ryan is a female who has a name that is obviously quite gender neutral. It could be a male or female name. And Micah, who is the male main character, again, has a name that could be male or female. When they're younger, So Micah and Rin, when they were younger, they became pen pals because their teachers mixed up whether their name they were being sent was male or female. So somehow they both become pen pals, and years later they still write each other all the time, many letters a day. They constantly talk, and they agreed to never meet in person. That way they would never kind of change the image of them they had in their head. They don't know what each other looks like. And one day they accidentally meet Micah knows they're meeting. He realizes it's her. She doesn't know it's him. And that kind of changes their relationship a little bit. He doesn't care very much for her after meeting her in person. He didn't like the vibe that he got from her, I guess. So their relationship gets a little rocky. I know that it starts off as like a bully romance, but I've also heard it gets really sweet and cute, and there's a lot of really adorable scenes, and it's very romantic. So I guess we'll see how it goes. Again, another book that I have no idea how I'm going to feel about, just because I've never read a bully romance. Doesn't exactly sound like my thing, but Penelope Douglas, this is your month to wow me, so we'll see how these two books go. So that's all I have for this TBR. I know it was really small. For me, checking stuff off and completing goals is always like very happy. Like, it makes me satisfied, happy. It's like a serotonin release. So by making this TBR smaller, I have more of a hope to actually complete all these books. And if I do that, I think that it will make me happy and it'll make me feel better about this reading slump I've been in. And hopefully after that, I can just keep the ball rolling, keep reading more and more, read some of the million books that I have around me right now. Half of these books are unread. I have like 15 library books laying around here. So many books that I want to read. I just have to actually do it. I have to get into them. So wish me luck on getting out of this reading slump and reading some of these books. Comment down below some of the books that you have on your July TBR. And if you're enjoying my videos, be sure to subscribe, and I'll see you in my next one.